Developing Safe Work Method Statements. Safe Work Method Statements, or SWMS, which are also known as Safety Procedures or Safe Systems of Work, are the building and construction industry standard for controlling the hazards associated with a particular construction activity. SWMS, or SWIMS, provide the basis for activity induction training. Before a crew engages in a critical activity, they take part in a toolbox meeting based on the SWIMS for the activity. In this process, the crew is informed about hazards and risks that may affect them. They are consulted on those hazards and controls and are able to suggest ways of controlling and identifying new hazards. Any hazard peculiar to the sites of the activity are identified in this process. SWIMS are the most important component of any OH&S management system manual and the most important document on the field to control activity hazards and work safely. The purpose of a safe work method statement is to outline a safe work method of work for a specific task, to provide an induction document that workers must read and understand before starting a job, to meet legal requirements, that is, hazard identification and control, and to program work, materials, time, staff, and to anticipate potential problems. Your safe work method statements must be on your organization's letterhead and show the name and registered office address of the organization, be signed and dated by a senior management representative of your organization, and prepared for all work activities assessed as having high health and safety risks. Your safe work method statements must at least include the following: a description of the work to be undertaken, the actual step-by-step sequence of activities, tasks involved in doing the work, the potential hazards and risks associated with each step of the work, the safety controls that will be put in place to minimize the risks, all precautions to be taken to protect health and safety of personnel, all health and safety instructions to be given to persons involved with the work, identification of the parts of health and safety, workplace injury management, and workers' compensation legislation, regulations, codes, standards, and procedures applicable to the work and where these documents are kept, the names and qualifications of those who will supervise the work, inspect, and approve work area conditions, work methods, protective measures, plants, equipment, and power tools for use, a description of what training is given to people involved with the work, the names of those who will be or have been trained for the work activities described in the statements, and the names and qualifications of the people responsible for training them, identification of the plant and equipment that is most likely to be used on the work site, such as ladders, scaffolds, grinders, electrical leads, welding machines, fire extinguisher, tools, and materials, details of any health and safety permits and licenses required to complete the work and where they are kept, and details of the inspection and maintenance checks that will be or have been carried out on plants and equipment listed for use. You can use the template available on the website, and the link to this page is right here. So you will need to fill the details on the first page and then follow the steps below to develop the second page. Step 1. List all the steps required to carry out the activity in a sequential order. Step 2. Consider each step in the activity and identify potential hazards, including any already identified during the risk assessment project. Step 3. Assess the risk of harm arising from the identified hazards using the risk reckoner in the last page of the template. Determine the initial risk rating. Hazards assessed as 1, 2, or 3 are classified as high risk. 4, 5, or 6 are low risk. Step 4. List the actions required to eliminate or control the risks. The risk of exposure to hazards must be eliminated. If it is not reasonably practicable to eliminate the risk, then the exposure to the risk must be reduced so far as it is reasonably practicable by substitution, isolation, or engineering controls. Low-level controls such as administrative controls and using PPE, which is personal protection equipment, should only be used in conjunction with one or more of the higher level controls. Step 5. Assess the residual risk ranking following the same process as Step 3. And Step 6. Assign responsibility for implementing each control. You have a couple options available to develop your own SWIMS. These are: develop the SWIMS in consultation with the delivery team. They know how the tasks are carried out and know the potential hazards and controls required. Or purchase a pre-written SWIM on the net and customize it to your particular circumstances. You can purchase this from www.swmscentral.com.au or otherwise swimcentral.com.au. The choice is yours. The bottom line is to have a SWIM that is easy to understand and implement and written in plain English so that everyone understands it.